You today is Tuesday, the second day of September 2025. The month is still very much brand new, and you are watching Signature Morning on Signature TV. Lillian, how are you this morning?
I'm very well. Good morning, Uche. You look
Good morning. You
lovely.
look lovely as well. I hope you had a good night's
Yes, I
rest.
did. Yes.
Well, on one of the major stories making the rounds this morning is the sentencing of Simon Ekpa to 6 years, in prison by a Finnish court.
Well, yes. I do hope that they are right, and everybody, including the federal government, they are hailing the Finnish court and saying that, oh, you did well. We're trying to, put terrorism under the rug.
All right. Well, that's quite an interesting development. But we will be coming up next with our newspaper headlines and review. And don't forget, I am Uchenna Chimbi Oluoha.
And I am Lillian Wali. Yes, welcome back. Now let's look at what's trending on our newspaper headlines and newspaper review. In the Blueprint newspaper, FG hails Simon Ekpa 6-year jail term by Finnish court 10 months after arrest. And police intercepts suspected gun runners, seize GPMG and orders in Katsina State.
At UK summit, FIRS boss Adedeji charges global leaders on cross-border crimes.
And Dangote Cement extends scholarship to Kogi communities. High interest rates on deposits reduce consumption by $151.6 billion.
Bring back Obi to PDP, destroy the party, Wike warns. Tackles El Rufai, insists Tinubu will win 2027 election. Ex-governor plotting to destabilize our state. This is from KDSG on page 19.
And moving over to the Daily Times newspaper, here on page 2, it says Nigeria threatens reciprocity as US cancels valid visa. And that's on page 2.
44 million Nigerians enroll into National Health Insurance Scheme.
Okay, NSA Kaduna government knocks El Rufai. Say he left state in ruins.
Diaspora remittances surged to $600 million monthly, fueled by CBN reform, says Dabiri Erewa. We have Indonesia approves $1.3 million scholarship for Mocha to train 96.
And over to the Independent newspaper. Politicians asking Jonathan to why betrayed him in 2015, says Wike.
Doctors issue 10 days ultimatum, threaten nationwide strike.
Rivers LG poll heightens fears over 2027 general elections. It's mockery of democracy, rascality taken too far, says Obi.
Still on the Daily Independent, mobile subscriber base suffers steepest decline in 10 months. And we have no Nigerian is second class, no region is left behind. This is from Tinubu.
NUPRC NNPCL Total Energy signed deepwater oil contract. That's on page 29 of Daily Independent.
Now let's look at what is on the Guardian newspaper. Local carriers struggle as foreign airlines rake in $1.7 billion from Nigerian markets.
FG sets up committee to address foreign missions debt.
CSO laments state's defiance of Supreme Court ruling on LG allocations.
And FG urges traditional medicine practitioners to standardize products.
On page 6, how integrity character stopped Wike from eyeing 2027 presidential bid.
And Bago dissolves Niger cabinet as Aliyah reconstitutes in Benue.
We have Nigeria to reallocate dormant oil blocks, signs new production sharing contract.
And over to Daily Trust newspaper, over 800 killed in Afghanistan earthquake.
Abuja Kaduna rail tracks to be restored in 10 days, says Minister.
And motorists react as CNG price hits 380 naira.
Suspected gun runners nabbed in Katsina.
And now over to Vanguard newspaper. Jonathan Tukeamo Odinkalo to keep off my political journey. Says, keep off my political journey. I don't need your counsel. Jonathan, 100% qualified for race, says Azibola, ex-president's cousin. He's being deceived. Fielding Obi will spend doom for PDP, says Wike. Adds, I won't run for president. Notes El Rufai's calculation about Tinubu is wrong. Nigerians, not APC or PDP, would decide 2027, says Atiku.
Power-hungry politicians seeking to remove Tinubu. This is from the presidency. And we see on page 9, childhood cancer. 400,000 children diagnosed annually from the World Health Organization.
And for sports stories, Nigerians in South Africa mobilized for Super Eagles against Bafana.
Now, on the Punch newspaper, we have terrorism trial. FG may seek Ekpa's repatriation after Finland's 6-year jail term. Government will take further action after judgment review, says AGF. Ruling warning to extremists. This is from the Information Minister on page 2.
And here there is strike threat. The resident doctors give FG 10-day ultimatum. And 60-year-old man arrested for raping Lagos lady. That's on page 5 of the Punch newspaper.
Oyetola blames wooden boats as accidents claim 92 lives. And we have Nigerian embassies hit by unpaid rent and salary arrears. All right, and that is the much we can take on the Punch newspaper and on our newspaper headlines this morning. And it's time for our review with Chris Maduka. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Chris.
We are looking bright and early.
Yes.
You too.
And we thank God for that.
You too.
Welcome to another day on Newspaper Review on Signature TV. Let's start from the blueprint.
Simon Ekpa's
Making
6-year jail
headlines.
term is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Simon Ekpa is jailed. FG hails Finnish court. Well, the FG can hold Finnish courts. But the reason why Simon Ekpa did what he did and get jail time, or why Nnamdi Kanu is still in jail in Nigeria, is, from what everybody is saying, he was kidnapped from Kenya, put in jail, and I think it's too much jailing for people who are talking about self and actualization. So FG might hell, yes, but have they jailed the thought of self-actualization? Have FG jailed? What is making all these people talk about self-actualization? And this self-actualization is embedded in Biafra, quest to be alone, to be independent, or quest to everywhere they say Biafrans are marginalized. Have the FG jailed that? Because if you want to separate fight, first separate the pushing and shoving. Because once the shoving and pushing has entered, the fight blows into a full-grown fight. It's good. I mean, what is Nigeria learning from the Finnish court? Within 10 months, they finished the inquiries of that and then sentenced the man to jail. Does that happen in Nigeria? Why is it Kanu not, if FG feels that he has a case to answer, why is this still being held? Because the expert said even 10 months that Ekpa has been held will be accounted in his jail term. That brings to the criminal justice system in Nigeria, it's so slow. It's also manipulated. And they know. The people who operate justice system in Nigeria know. The NBAs, they just left in Enugu and they discussed all about manipulation. Highest bidder gets justice in Nigeria. They have said so many things out of their conference. It's not me that said that. It's in the public domain. That a lot of people even went there to tell them the justice system of Nigeria is highest bidder. It's now bazaar. Well, I don't have issue. The issue I have is that Simon Ekpa, this Finnish court find him guilty and they jailed him. That should have been the case with all the people who we are charging with terrorism in Nigeria. And they would have been jailed. How can people stay in awaiting trial more than they could have, their jail time would have been? It's injustice. And the justice delayed is justice denied. Yeah. If I commit any offense, you take me to court, and then I have access to to lawyers, and then I plead my case, and the thing is discussed, and the competent court said, you are going to go and serve your jail time. The person begin to count. But some of us, in the other few days, we have 54,497 people what they call them, awaiting trial. That's what whatever they call it is awaiting trial. These are people who are consuming on the budget of the correctional center in Nigeria, and they think they do not know what they are doing. They do. Some people we said the police arrested them, but because of the police want to clean themselves, some of them are held over what the Constitution says. But even when they succeed to push them in the court, the next thing is remand. And that's the end. Somebody is remanded in jail, in correctional center custody. He doesn't now have access to lawyer. His records are not even there. Some people are Nigerian jail, correctional centers with no records. I'm talking from experience. I've worked for an organization called Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action in Enugu, and they are now all over the world working. Their job has gotten them to be world recognized. Now, what did they do? When they were in Enugu, they were getting some grants from UK8 and DFID to do a project they call Speeding Criminal Justice System in Nigeria. We got to some jail. Let me be precise. Oji River Prison in Oji River. Some people there with the whole, the Chief Justice of Enugu State then, and all the people that went there, the Chief Prosecution Officer of Enugu and all, we went there, and they brought out the people in prison. Some of them do not have any record. Nobody recognized them, and they have been there for more than 12 years. Somebody said he was accused of stealing 2 crates of beer at 9 Mile Corner, and he has been in jail for 12 years. His people have buried him, forgotten about him. He couldn't even find a way. He doesn't know how to get back to his house when he was released. These are the issues happening in Nigeria. But you know what happened when Ekpa Ibom airline, somebody fought they put the woman in the next day they brought her out. I don't know how they managed that. You know, Nigeria is a total confused state. This is about Simon Ekpa. It's okay. But they don't know. Whatever that is meant Simon Ekpa, there are so many, if they would be taught to tell truth to the authority, there are so many Simon Ekpas. There are so many Nnamdi Kanus. So they begin to jail and jail until they jail the issue, the cause. Instead of pursuing symptoms, let Nigeria face the problem and solve it once and for all. Otherwise, there are so many jail people that go to jail, and God bless them. Right. Now, bring Obi back to PDP, destroy the party. That's coming from weekend. The Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, who is supposedly should be a member of PDP. Now, the question is PDP not yet destroyed by the same person talking about this? Why is there running around saying, you know, when somebody, there's this Omo Bilibo, they played one music, he said, somebody who is falling down must hold something. If PDP want to destroy, which is already destroyed itself, they shouldn't hold Obi. Obi has not agreed to join PDP. So whether you bring him back and destroy PDP, PDP has been destroyed by the same person who Who is talking about destroying PDP? So let them go and sort to their destruction and fire branding PDP, talking tough PDP, sort out somewhere and leave Peter Obi alone. He is still negotiating from what we had looking around. So if he feels that he enter PDP, he will destroy PDP. I don't see Peter Obi as somebody who will go into any party to destroy them. Yeah. So since now somebody has said if you come to PDP, so PDP are not responding back. Meaning they agree that the man is staying in their mind. That is the kind of PDP you see in recent days. Shame onto a party that sat here and ruled Nigeria for 16 years and they learned how to rule and destroy themselves, but they never learned how to be an opposition party. And that's their doom. God bless them. Now we go to Daily Times.
Yes, Nigeria threatens reciprocity as US cancels.
Why threats? Did the US threaten Nigeria before they start cancelling even valid visas? Why coming to the headline to say you threat? Who are you threatening? What business do you have with threatening? If you have a sovereign nation as a Nigeria and you have your diplomatic policies, apply it if you have the guts and deliver. It's not need to come. Why are they telling us Nigeria? Send the threat to America. Write them a letter of threat. I'm going to come back. Like Idi Amin said, to retaliate. Why reciprocate? This is already visa war. And the president of America is not seeking your opinion. He didn't threaten. He took his decision and then lay it, and it's a policy, executive order. So we have executive who is the president of Nigeria, and they are still threatening. And some people have gone ahead with their, and you are still threatening. So who are you threatening? They should know. It's not the case of Nigeria. This is highly international. And they're dealing with a nation like United States of America. You don't pretend you don't know where they... And then, why the threat? Who is threatening? They want to cause confusion in Nigeria, and then all of them are holding valid visas to America. Woe unto them. God has a way of doing it. Let them look for another country, they hold valid visa. You are in Nigeria. Most of the people in the National Assembly hold valid visa to America. Why? Because they know that this country, they are causing confusion. Nigeria is on cake of gunpowder. They are not discussing peace in Nigeria. They are not taking decisions that cause confusion. After all, when they were talking about increasing the salaries of political office holders, all of them are holding valid visa. If it doesn't work out, they can. Now, America said even some of them that have the valid visas cannot even enter. And that's why they are threatening. The wasting time is not a matter of threat. After all, they have Ministry of External Affairs, they have a Diaspora Commission. Those are the people who are they threatening? You know, Nigerians, I don't know whether, is it the newspaper headlines, is it the way Nigerians think? Are we talking about in diplomatic circle you are threatening? You don't threaten in diplomatic circle. And that's why it's called diplomacy. You have to play according to the rule. You don't come with threats. Why are you threatening? Is it that you are threatening America, who you are superior in sovereignty? It's funny. Let's move on. So 44 million Nigerians enroll in National Health Insurance Scheme. That's interesting. Now, Obi, go army. Where's the boot? They match that headline with the way life expectancy of Nigeria worse than war-torn Ukraine. Yes. In Daily Independent. Yes. So match the two. 44 million Nigerians have a national health insurance scheme. But then our life expectancy, if you must know, life expectancy in war-torn countries are, some of them are less than 33 years. Yes. Now what you're saying in Nigeria, to get to 33 years, by miracle. Nigerians are prayer warriors, highly religious. We have all manner of religion in Nigeria, and we push with energy that. So you pray to be up to 33 years in Nigeria. It's a shame that they put this in national headline, and the world have access and click and see, wow, this is country they want people to come and invest. People who their life expectancy. Imagine how long the war in Ukraine has lasted. Imagine the destruction there. Imagine the high-level, high-tech war going on there. And in Nigeria that is not in a war situation, the life expectancy of Nigerian citizens, according to Daily Independent, is worse than Ukraine, that have fought war almost 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
South Sudan. And then they have the guts to put in the passport of Nigeria at 200,000. They are using that to purchase life expectancy. Uche, God bless Nigeria. Rivers LG poll heightens fear over 2027 general election. Rivers State, this is a sensation and it's coming on Daily Independent. Rivers State election or whatever is happening in Rivers State cannot heighten. You know why? Nigerians are not even ready to vote. Quote to me. So who are they? Who are they telling this? Who are they? What is happening? What has been in Rivers State is the emergency rule will be expiring in a few weeks' time. No Nigerian lost their life. Nobody in Rivers State. The women tried to protest. They quailed them and they pushed them and they find a way of assuaging them and they accepted their fate. Why should what I describe as political mess in Rivers State threaten 2000? It's an insult. Insult on people like us who I have the independency. I have my voter's card. I have the discretion as owner of myself in a country they call Nigeria to either vote or not to vote. No constitutional right has put it that mandatory that I must vote. So when you want me to vote, nobody is paid to vote, especially that these days they buy vote. But ordinarily in Nigerian constitution, nobody is paid. You reach the age of voting, you go and register to vote, collect your card, and be authorized. And that day, you have God helping you if you are alive, you are healthy. Because of this heightened worst case of life expectancy and all these threats facing Nigerians, if you find yourself breathing that day and you still decide to take the risk of going with looking at what is happening, you can't even go out to vote unless another miracle happens. Nigerians believe in miracle.
All right, now on the Vanguard, there's a headline there: Jonathan to Keyamo and Odinkalu, keep off my political journey.
For instance, I think it should be addressed to the Minister of Aviation. It's only in the land of a land that do not have future, that young people do not respect people like Jonathan because they are in power. Jonathan has been in power and is out. But the world recognizes him and gave him so many positions. Some Nigerians still recognize that Jonathan came out well, not minding whatever. Nobody's an angel. But if the shoe come to push, Keyamo has no business talking down on Goodluck Jonathan. He has no business. He's not qualified to discuss Jonathan because they are not equals. One has been president of Nigeria. One is still battling to be a minister and they sing the praise of his employer and principal. So the gap must be given. It's only in Nigeria that people do this without respect, and they expect because Keyamo can be president of Nigeria tomorrow. Now, if you know what you give to others is the same measure you receive. That's why we are perpetuating disrespect. We are perpetuating what in Nigeria, and then when it comes to that, I start talking from both sides. This is the culture we are laying down. Culture of disrespect to people who have been in certain level of authority. And it's not good for us. I think we're told our time is fast going up. Unless you have a fast one you want me to talk about, why we go.
WHO, childhood cancer, 400,000 children diagnosed annually by World Health Organization. That's quite a large number for children. It's
coming from World Health Organization and coming from what international community has made Nigeria to be consuming. People believe that what this Gen Z and this generation is consuming is hastening these cancer issues in Nigeria. And I don't know, some people said GMOs, I don't think is about. What I think is that the medical profession in Nigeria, we have Ministry of Health, when they see this figure, they have to look at it very well, critically. In the first place, if it's true, then you will have to do something. If it's not true, somebody is trying to sell the medicine they manufacture and bring here. And put us on the restless run of low cost of consumption. And when they tell you, hey, all your children are dying of cancer, the next morning they send us message. The next day, hey, all your adults are. The next day, all the women cannot carry pregnancy. This kind of thing the world has noticed about us. What has Nigeria Ministry of Health come out with one of the data and research to tell us about Nigeria? We only depend on World Health. And World Health Organization is overrated. During COVID, a lot of things that happened, America pulled out, a lot of people pulled out of World Health Organization and they've not returned. So World Health Organization should also leave Nigeria alone to sort our problem out, because they are part of what the problems are in developing nations like Nigeria.
All right.
Okay.
God bless Nigeria. God bless all those who have listened to us and watched.
Yeah.
Remember, for those who deserve to be blessed. Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
beautiful ladies, for having me here.
Thank you so much,
for your
Chris.
review this morning.
Thank you. And yes, we have come to the end of our newspaper headlines and newspaper review with Chris Maduka. You're still watching Signature Morning. Do stay with us. When we return, our conversation continues.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.